I still feel like I just got home.
Praise the Lord. Every boy and every girl, all around the world, in the Caribbean, they'll be swinging and swaying. Hurricane season's coming up, and this video's already there. And it's also in Vietnam, and South Korea, and North Korea. There are people dying without ever really being able to praise the Lord. Hopefully one day that can happen. In California, there's palm trees. And you know something? There's palm trees in West Virginia too, in McDowell County. There sure is. David Klein has some. And I can show you a painting Tom Acosta spent a lot of time on, being obsessed with David Klein's newest obsession, the painting about his stuff. But I could just tell you that there's palm trees at David Klein's because David Klein believed in palm trees being in West Virginia. It's just something that happened. But let's take a look back on my 667th day. At a time when I was already well into being leader of this family. My 667th day homeless on July 6, 2024. And we must know that leaders, the best ones, are good stewards of patience. I hope for the best, even from ridiculous old people. And we must know, if we don't, my mother forgot everything. She forgot who Jesus Christ was. This video is for Geneva May Steele, who better remember Jesus Christ. Maybe she could help my mother remember who Jesus Christ. That would be a wonderful and beautiful thing. But she said she didn't care about my mother's side of the family. So that is disappointing. And I think this world and any others we can find would agree with that. Take a look back on my 667th day homeless. And remember, in the 1940s, this nation sent everything it had to Japan. Geneva May Steele, the oldest relative I have, recently told me I should have been responsible. And that was Adeline, the family leader, which is me, is telling the oldest family member who is still alive right now, you have a challenge. You really do. You must do this or you will fail by not doing it. There's no reason you can't do it, and I believe that most people will agree you should do it. You should do it because this is me as the family leader demonstrating to the entire family, pretty much everybody, even the gay family that I don't think you care about because you're not responsible, the family that's dying of cancer, and really is the family that I have that is doing the best out of everybody besides the cancer. But Geneva, you have a challenge. I need to see a YouTube video in a week. If you can survive. If you have, I don't think that you are in such a condition where you can't do this. If you do it or not, we'll know in a week. This will be a test of how strong the Acosta side is today. The oldest family member who told me I should have been responsible. The person who told me for me to stay warm and that she was going to have plans to make me a quilt. I don't think she has made the quilt. She should have been responsible. She also said she did not care about my mother's family. And, you know, she should have been responsible. If she had felt that way, she ought to have been wise enough to learn from Nora Blunt. This man it went to war for us. Every single one of us Americans. Already. Blunt. That was Madonna with Some Girls. Cash your credit, it's gonna hurt. And I'm not looking to make money. And they say when Michael Jackson did that Super Bowl halftime show, he waited at the beginning a long time. So he knew every single second costed Fox. We did things he did not like. When he did things we did not like. How about that? To a Child, 1993, which is lady, like Michael Jackson. What exactly I can describe as the very best way I can explain it here is September 24. In February 2023, when my father said, I'm going to leave you here in this cabin and go sleep with a 7-year-old boy. I don't know if that boy is still alive today. Okay? How about that? How about the cares and prayers and tears Nathan Acosta has had while homeless at the Pacific Ocean about that, and every single second since and before. You know, Tom Acosta believed Air Force One should land at Welch Airport, and I still believe in that now. And I want to demonstrate this point very well. I estimate that this picture right here is probably the most expensive picture my family on either side will ever take. Apparently being famous was a real big deal to my dad, and I guess he's going to get his wish. But nobody should have pictures of themselves homeless in the greatest country in the world after 1 year. After 1 year, you become 16 times more likely to die, and Geneva may seal, absolutely. Let me freeze to death and have to survive with Josh Eves, who needs to be resolved as well. We're focusing on Geneva here. Part of focusing on Geneva is understanding this picture is the most expensive picture my family will ever take, because it represents everything we're about to watch here. This video is already up for over 100 days, and this video costs, maybe not in terms of dollars yet, but it costs everything to both sides of my family. Everything that Nora Blunt and Michael Acosta, everyone they know, their brothers and sisters, okay? And then the value went even higher when Senator Manchin, who was so negligent and did not notice, care, or seem to ever return calls. I'm doing my best. I'm doing the best. It's never been done before. It should never have to be done again. McDowell County, better than ever, with a son, its future, be made homeless from the largest home in the poorest place in the United States of America. Poorest rural place in the United States of America. That's what happened 15 days after Donald Trump was voted per capita #1 there, more than anywhere else on earth. 15 days later, Tom Acosta made me homeless. Tom Acosta made me homeless, and I defeated it the second time in 2017. My mother made me homeless in 2004, because that was the best she could do back then. When Tom Acosta made me homeless, I defeated it when I became homeless in September 2022. I was trying to get relocated to High Point, North Carolina, to relocate and resettle, start a new life, and I was ghosted on. Last heard from the individual I was going to go see and be with, at the Chattanooga Greyhound Station. It was very terrifying. More than 48 hours nonstop, wondering what to do at the Atlanta Greyhound Station. Way back on September 8th, 2022. As soon as I defeat homelessness, the priority returns to, well, I think Uncle Mike became homeless, like, right away. And then the priority returns to returning to whatever Tom Acosta and Joe Manchin want. So we are delivering this painting to his office. In this case, it is deliver a painting to Senator Joe Manchin's office staff in Charleston, West Virginia, and then for Tom Acosta, it's taken immediately to Fifth Avenue, New York City. We are literally, here's the picture, right here's the picture, right here. This painting is believed to be the most immaculate work my father, Tom Acosta, ever created. It was painted in 2010. In about 24 hours following the Upper Big Branch mine disaster, I believe Governor Tomlin of West Virginia declared this painting a state treasure. So Senator Manchin did what he, did when he raised EpiPens more than 6 times the cost, thereby setting a precedent that he certainly doesn't care about what's best for little kids. But this time it was just taking this painting for free on indefinite free loan because he wanted it, and he did not care about Uncle Mike or Uncle Mike's family or anything about Uncle Mike. Clearly. He wanted it. He wanted it. He got what he wanted, didn't he? I will say I have offset the value, like this video. There's another one with a message to my Aunt Theresa. So I have tried my best to help the family weather a storm that is ongoing. But what is the cost, West Virginia? Because in the 1940s, the United States of America spent 40% of its GDP. We spent a few years spending $4 trillion back in the 40s for World War II. So what do you think the cost for resolving Tom Acosta is going to be? Let's watch this. We need to watch this video so we can get on to the rest of the video. And I said I exercised a lot of patience and leadership and diligence. And I am the leader of this family. This leader, West Virginia and the voice of McDowell County, needs to understand I'm the voice of McDowell County. I'm in Denver, Colorado. I'm in America's heart of its first all-American city. The two-bedroom apartment with marble countertops. We're going to have to deal with this. Uncle Mike, hashtag Uncle Mike, is what the world knows this painting as. Uncle Mike is the state treasurer as long as I say he is. His credibility in this situation with Nora is true. And it also is something that we should be considerate of. Uncle Mike died a born-again Christian. He gave up crack cocaine. He loved Theresa Foley to the very last day he died. The wife, the mother of his children, his first wife. He loved all of his wives. His credibility in this situation is very accurate. And also, he told me this information in the 2010s. He also wanted to speak with me very, very importantly before he passed. And Tom Acosta did not allow that to happen. And Michael Acosta wanted to speak with me before he passed. My best guess, as the only nephew he ever got to know, was so that he could tell me, absolutely, contact information or information that would be useful and helpful of where that 7-year-old boy was. The one Tom Acosta was sleeping with. Michael definitely wanted to talk to me very badly, and Tom Acosta did not allow that to happen. The cost of what's going on has also already costed West Virginia absolutely its state song. But it also, what I just said about Michael's credibility, has to be compared to someone we'll learn about in this video. A Grand Mason named Todd Frott also knows someone that was involved in my rescue. He actually gave me a ride from Wilkes County to Forsyth County. It's a day later and I'm still editing. Oh yeah, Joe mentioned this has Robert C. Burr all over it. I was homeless in Wilkes County, North Carolina, about 5 miles away from his birthplace. Yeah, it wasn't planned at all. Believe me, I never wanted to go homeless a third time. US 421, when I was carrying everything I owned going down the interstate. Brady Hopkins is an honorably discharged Air Force veteran of the United States military. And he said to me in the summer when I was in San Francisco, he said to me, why don't you hitchhike yourself back to West Virginia and go rescue the boy yourself? So what cost is that? Does this seem like this is fun to me? No, I don't. I hate this shit. But I also never wanted to hear my dad say the words, I'm going to leave you in this cabin and go sleep with a 7-year-old boy. What makes you think I could trust the state of West Virginia? We have a sheriff's deputy telling me I work for Tom Acosta. Also, I never wanted the state of West Virginia to be suing. No, it's the other way around. I never wanted Tom Acosta to be suing the state of West Virginia. Because he's a child molester, and a child molester should never be allowed to sue the state of West Virginia. Can you imagine Michael Jackson getting paid by California
Well, that's pretty much exactly what the fuck is going on. Check out this other U.S. history about Uncle Michael and Aunt Nora. Oh. I think it's captioned in here, but let me just say it for all the stupid people like Senator Manchin who can't fucking read or whatever. Uncle Michael is my dad's brother. Aunt Nora is my mother's sister. Advice to boomers. Those people are never allowed to fuck each other, but they did. This is the boomers. This is the highest cost you've ever had in your entire lifetimes. And it's like, I need my own new lease on life.
Hey Mac, I've been homeless. Already at the day minimum for over 1,200 days. Looks hotter than Ryan Gosling. Kind of like Roger from 101 Dalmatians or like Ryan Gosling, but like more down to earth and just that's who we're letting down all the time. Along with Saving My Boy and me. You know, no more blunts, just kind of keep dealing with it. And so is Elizabeth, her daughter. Mother who didn't get divorced. It doesn't realize it's kind of give David a chance to have a place to stay and deal with me like he should be. Like I think he kind of wants to sometimes. Sometimes he doesn't, but ultimately I ain't stopping. And you know, it's what's best for him. But I was there with the boats and I was crying because I was like, these are the only boats. I'm the only man I ever married. These are the boats that carried him, that he was wearing. He was carrying our fathers and our brothers and our sons, picking them off the Desert 4 and back in the helicopter as fast as many as they could, all of the time. Determining on the fly who had the best chance to live in, and doing that through going through hell as people's arms and legs ain't even there. And they are definitely dying and being like, tell Becky I loved her. And like, he's like, yep, shout out. There's people out there who should know. Okay? That's what he was doing. Before he met me, he dealt with me. Real good, real hard. And I found out I had HIV 15 minutes before he got there. Told him not to come, but he was like, I'm coming anyway. What was such a big deal? He didn't have anywhere else to go. And he was like, well, what was such a big deal? And I was like, that's it. He was like, well, that ain't the problem. I'm going to love you in the next lifetime right now. So bad I can't extend it. I might explode if I don't. And that's just kind of what happened. So I'm there. This is 4 years later. This is like a month ago. I'm at the storage unit looking at these boats. And I'm crying because I'm like, these are also the boats that he was not only in war with, these are the boats that he was homeless in through the winter. Absolutely. Walking in, as I was, and we were stepping over frozen, dead, homeless boomers in the snow who just, that's how it is. The boomers do not make it when they're homeless. They can't. It's unfortunate that we have homeless people at all. It's unfortunate that the boomers are, typically the homeless ones are loud and cranky and demanding, and they do not have solutions to make it through another day anymore. So much that we walk over them when they're frozen in the snow in Denver, America's first all-American city. Probably they didn't even serve. So it's awful. It's appalling. If I'm saying everything procedurally, Queen of England, we should know, we should care. That's already happened. I've already been with like a homeless, I was in a situation on Christmas where there was a homeless dead baby. So much to this whole story. But I was also crying and knowing these boats are the only man I'd ever marry who's already had them in Afghanistan, been homeless, brought them here, and we ain't staying here. And there was, kind of some talk about, he wasn't going to stay, but he believed in having boots, that he would need them again. He believed in tomorrow. He believed in coming back. He believed in the boats. He would need them again. And they belong to the Smithsonian right now. So much. Devin is the force, the life, the everything, the heartbeat of this country. He is loved coast to coast because I know I was at the Atlanta Greyhound Station when I became homeless, and there was a female from the Army, that we both were on the same bus. It got canceled, and she was in line with me when we were rerouting, and she was going to Hilton Head. And I told her about Devin, and she was like, sounds like a good man. And I'm like, he's the best. And she was like, I know. And she was in love with a lady friend. I think in the Marines. And like they were, she knew. Devin is love coast to coast. CTRYSTR, make sure that. Like Granny. Oh, take a break. Okay, I'm getting tired. But sometimes we do have to have this. Still number one, single, never married, 0 lifetime arrest. No one else in the family has this, and you're just going to have to deal with the leader of your family and these cold, hard facts. Right now, one time, probably again later, but right now, we definitely need to have this little talk. Nora Blunt, my aunt, my mom's sister, Rita Kay, our grandmother, who can't remember shit, because she got divorced and remarried again, basically in 2 seconds, from Saudi Arabia, from a weapons arms dealer who has no business around my mother at all. Ever did, never did. We got a whole video on Richard, more on that, called The Boomer Roundup. Facts about Richard. Nora Blunt, as leader of your family, sitting right here on the street corner, homeless for over 600 days, single, never married, wanna be, so bad, as you can tell. But, you know, having to live my life as much as I can. You have to remember, I have a life. It does matter. Nora, yours does too. And everything that's already happened in your life, this is exactly why, like last week, I was like, we're going to have to start caring about the nuclear bomb. It's Tom Acosta. We just are. He's a child molester. It doesn't matter if you're divorced and your mom's divorced and you got kids and you're saying you're raising them the best, Elena Butt. You ain't at all. If I'm coming to you and saying we need to care like we never cared before, I ain't saying that to waste my breath. Clearly. I thank God this is being said one time and watched by 70,000 people in the next 30 days and more forever, all the time. Nora Blunt. Okay, apparently you didn't know, so now you know. Ed Daniels, yeah, start caring everybody and who knows me. If you're related to me, if you divorced your way out and got remarried, I don't care. If you is part of me, you are part of Tom Acosta. I don't like it. I don't think Tom Acosta is either. I don't think Tom Acosta wants to even be alive. I really don't. I think that Tom Acosta was like, oh, I just gave up on my dreams. I don't want the 40-year digital archive, everything I created, and I'm going to tell Nathan, I'm going to go in this cabin, leave him here in this cabin, and go sleep this 7-year-old boy, and that's what he did. And it took me like 0 time at all to be like, that's wrong. It's always going to be wrong. You're going to hell. This is a problem. West Virginia's unprepared. I already knew that. Well, like, I already knew that years ago, West Virginia would never, I wasn't anticipating my dad would tell me that, but I was anticipating West Virginia is not at all going to be prepared for anything like this, and it ever has been and still isn't today. So, Nora Blunt, your little business of becoming a champion on musical chairs, which is what a female becomes sometimes. A nicer way of explaining it. One of my uncles, not the one temporarily married to you, another one temporarily married to you, Nora. My lands. I am the best. I am the best this family has. We are, according to Mountain News, as the valuing the Norman Rockwell lifestyle as a modern family. Well, you know what? Todd Fry and his family sure isn't, because that's the Grand Mason that sold my parents their house. You might remember them. Wonder Mascot and Wanda. You might meet Nora Blunt on MSNBC. I may be like bad boomers. There's a panel of bad boomers right here. The Wanda and Nora. Wanda wrote a book about the optimal set of conditions my family was in before they had me. So bought the house from Todd Fry, who's Grand Mason, the stupidest one on the planet we have so far. That said, nothing, not at all, not one bit of it, like caring, just a lot of homophobia from that whole family. No cares, and they're dealing with being the Fries. Because I came in a Grand Mason, somebody that knew my existence before I was even born, had a little affiliation with my father now, but always know him, does know my mother, even through all their divorces. I don't think the Fries been divorced. Point is, this is a person that should have said, Nathan, you should be alone. You should not be alone. And since things get better with your dad sleeping with 7 boys, horrible news. He didn't do that. He failed. Nora, basically, you failed on like a very serious way. I've already had the situation where I had a homeless person who defeated homelessness. It took him 5 years, and I was staying with him. I had to run for my life because once you've been homeless for 5 years, you just ain't the same anymore. He got mad at me over wearing headphones. That was why he was wanting to kill me. But his situation, Nora, this is just coming down. Like, it's just, woo, you can't sell like Lehman Brothers a third time. And this is just part of you having to survive every day of your life. Because, what do I know, Nora? What do you know, Nora? I ain't going to tell you right now what other uncle it was besides the one you were temporarily married to after you got divorced from Edo Daniels. It wasn't Alan Blunt, your husband, my other uncle that you slept with. It was another uncle that you had no business ever.
Another uncle you had no business ever.
Allowing his penis to get into every hole that you have or that you were born with. If a cardiologist finds another hole, I don't think any more penises can fit in that one. It's no one, which is why you are going to have to do jumping jacks and baggy clothes all the time, knowing that's really what's best for you. And if you have to cry, then you're going to have to multitask, Nora, because why the fuck do I know this information? Like, it ain't not true. It is. It's absolutely true. This is like the warm-up for what we're going to be dealing with David Blevins. Did I stutter? Pepsi. What's right never changes. I know what I like. So does this Toyota. And it's got to get here. Nora, you should have been like me in this Toyota. Me walking away. Huh. Not even playing musical chairs with that Toyota. Did I stutter? You didn't, Nora. Nora, what did you do? You played musical chairs all night long. As hard and as fast as you possibly could. Like, after the sun come up, y'all were, it's like round 400 on that. Like, you have a baby maker, a vagina. Was you married at the time? Were you already divorced? Like, where in your cycle of being temporarily married were you when this happened? Where was he? Yeah, you two are like, we're already off limits. People should not fuck each other. But you did. You totally did. You totally did. And it's a crisis. Number one might not never be the same anymore, but it's still the best. Watch that video too. Watch that video about how Rita Pegas, whatever her name is now, my mother, the only one I will ever have, cannot take seriously a question of after I got kidnapped and survived that. I asked my mother, now that it has Tom Western, where was his penis before 1987? Is there anything I should know? She can't take the question seriously, and in 2 seconds. Credibility, everything good? Or my parents, go. Well, it was at my house, if I even had one. I know that. Most of you do. Or kind of getting the picture. Nora, you were playing musical chairs with your vagina and his penis and other holes. And just like whatever stupid, fucked up, crazy shit you boomers were doing, y'all were doing it. I'm writing this because I'm the leader of the family. Smoke is bad, so is Nora's history. And I'm her favorite nephew. And she used to care. That's what she said. Well, she's tried to make a big deal about caring and not doing anything. Well, Nora, guess what? You got homework all out the wazoo. No more musical chairs with any more of my uncles ever. I guess I have to say the words. They're all boomers. Maybe they don't know. Oh, John, you stay away from it, Nora. They're brother and sister. But that man that was homeless for 5 years, the reason he became homeless was because the family said, well, if you want to marry your sister, you could just be homeless. And he was like, that's crazy. I'm going to fight that. That's awful. It's against everything I ever stand for. But no, like, it's clearly going on that kind of bullshit. You boomers, it's just like, boomer gets in the mode, there's another boomer. Doesn't matter what boomer it is. Y'all just end up, having to be doing jumping jacks with baggy clothes on and crying at the same time in your 60s and be the world's best grandma that you can be.
You better boomer gets in the mode, there's another boomer. Doesn't matter which boomer it is, y'all just end up, having to be doing jumping jacks with baggy clothes on and crying at the same time in your 60s and be the world's best grandma that you can be.
It sucks. Imagine what it's like for me. Being homeless on the street. Having no money. But knowing what's right never changes. And just dealing with that fact like nobody else is prepared to be dealing with it tomorrow, the day after. Elizabeth Marshall, you are Nora Blunt's daughter. You are the only one of them, besides Ed, her half-brother, who's facts about Ed O'Daniels. When his mother became homeless because Alan Butt decided the way he was going to get divorced is Nora's going to get out of the hospital after being on a ventilator with COVID. Her shit was going to be on the porch. And I bet Alan didn't even know about this other uncle. And you become a musical chairs champion with him. But I bet Alan is, feeling like divorcing you was maybe the right thing to do. And it's just very, very sad. I have to bring all this up, but it's just better to bring it up on YouTube now so that we can talk about it on Fox News and the New York Times in July. Because Tom Acosta being resolved needs to hurry up and happen because I'm 37 years old and I need to have my new lease on life as soon as possible. Because, Elizabeth Marshall, you are Nora Blunt's daughter. I believe that Alan Blunt. I hope so. And, you said you just gotta have to learn. You're gonna have to start saying Nathan's right.
Just gotta have to learn. You have to start saying Nathan's right.
You're gonna have to start saying things other than what you said, other than what you did say the other day. You've had enough time to not be homeless anymore. You're wrong. You're wrong on that. Okay, Devin? With Afghanistan, brought back our brothers, sons, and fathers. They went home. Maybe without a leg, but some of them went home.
Maybe without a leg, but some of them went home because of him.
The only reason a lot of these people, our other fellow Americans, have fathers, brothers, and sons today is because the man of my dreams is that tall. To deal with that, become an Eagle Scout, deal with me, and we cannot defeat homelessness. Elizabeth, you got children to raise. You also have every single one of your nieces and nephews, pretty much, besides Ed's kids. Like, there's too many of y'all already at a 38% risk of being homeless. All Nora's girls are younger than me. Y'all have already lived too fast. Y'all have already, hopefully, you ain't sleeping with your sister's ex or whatever. We've got some sort of uncle sleepover musical chairs champion part 2 rematch going on. I hope not. We all hope not. Max, do you think Liz is hot? If you do, just think about someone else. Liz Hurley. Go for Liz Hurley. She won't be into you, but better for you to have gold with her. I think I made my point clear. Enough for right now. Anyway, still, I need to know from you a few things in this video. The first thing I need you to go into is you're just going to have to learn from the best. Louis and Fanny Acosta married after Tom and Rita Acosta married, and they completed that marriage successfully. I need you to go into why that is a beautiful thing. I need you to give me some thoughts. I would like to know, you are the oldest relative that I have. What can you do? I want you to preserve the history. How did Louis Acosta propose? Where did they get married? What did Fanny wear? Is there a picture of it? I need to know everything about my grandparents' wedding. Of course, came after Tom and Rita's temporary little marriage. It was ended by a divorce attorney of America's #1 TV hometown. Home with Andy Griffith Show is #1 on several networks. So Geneva May Steele, what can you do? Because I'm going to go to Rockefeller Center and be like, well, Geneva was asked to tell us. And here's the video that she did, or that she failed to do, because she wanted to go out like that for telling me I should be responsible. I want to know all about Tom Acosta's father, Louis Acosta, and how he married Fanny Blankenship. We could also talk about George Blankenship and Jenny Acosta Wheeler. I would like to know, how is Jenny? Is she alive? I love her. I was responsible. I never stopped caring about Geneva. I was the one who took Jenny to see her son when he was incarcerated. He is no longer incarcerated. He helped me. He was responsible, Geneva. And when we got down there to North Carolina, the Suburban that my dad never paid for, one of his 3 SUVs, he should have been responsible. He didn't even take Jenny down there. I did.
I will take a quick break just to quickly say Uncle George passed in 95, I believe, of cancer and illness, but he was also homeless. So in his growing up, also on my mother's side, Uncle Bob, the oldest, the keystones of the family, firstborn sons, both of my mother and father's oldest siblings were homeless. I care very much about the only surviving person from Uncle George. That would be Paige Blankenship. I do not know how she is doing, and I care very much as the leader of her family. She needs to know she is loved forever. Regarding Aunt Jenny, when I came back to West Virginia in February 2023, the reason was to escape homelessness here in the winter in Denver. When I went back, seeing Aunt Jenny and Uncle Mike, the idea of that happening was the only two things that I was excited about in returning to West Virginia at all. I said earlier, Uncle Mike was wanting to talk to me, and Tom Acosta made sure that did not happen. Very unfortunate. I'll also say that I told him in February 2023, well, I want to go see Aunt Jenny. And Tom Acosta told me, we don't have to care about Aunt Jenny. She doesn't have a phone.
When we got down there, the Suburban, he didn't even pay for it. It was paid for by my first stepdad, who my mom divorced. She should have been responsible. It was like almost to catch on fire. It overheated. I made it to a Chevrolet dealership just in time. I was responsible, I was safe. And then we were staying with my babysitter's friend, sister, who was like not expecting us to hang out with her. Like, I think we spent the night, but she was responsible. She was like, you know, it's good to see you, even though it's like random. Like, we were loving each other. I would like for you, Geneva May Steele, I don't know how to say this. I think you need to reach out. I'm Geneva May Steele. I'm Nathan Acosta's dad's cousin, whatever. And I would like to talk to your mother, who is very responsible, who is like the queen of America's #1 TV hometown, who might be able to give you some direction, Geneva. And I think that would be the most wonderful thing you can do. I think that you should also tell us in this video, if you tell us about my grandparents' marriage, the only one was 100% successful. They never, at any time, thought about getting divorced at all, ever. Were they together for like decades before that? And Louie consumed alcohol immediately after that. Did Fanny Blankenship survive? Left and right fist to her face, like as many times as my mother's side of the family did. Why don't you go into Geneva when you're old, important to write notes, pencil and paper, sharp pencil. Don't make it too sharp because I don't know if you're responsible. Maybe a pen, crayon, you got a magic marker from Magic Mart if you were responsible and stocked up. Whatever it's gonna take, Geneva. I know I have to talk to you like that. I'm talking too fast. I don't know what your mental health condition is, but you said I should be responsible, and you didn't care about my mother's side of the family. And you need to tell us on YouTube in a week. You've got to get some help, because I know, like, you at one point were like, I think maybe I can help you with Cash App, but I would need to find somebody that has Cash App, and that would mean I'd have to, like, ask somebody. Now you stay warm. I make you a quilt. Now we're going, you should be responsible. And then you never did. Guess what? Tom Acosta was 100% successful in 2023 on two things. Sleeping with 7-year-old boy. Sure was. Maybe he should be responsible, like, in hell for that. Number two, I was like, Dad, I'll come back to West Virginia, but do you have Cash App? I need some money to help me get me there. And he was like, I don't have Cash App. And I was like, well, you should get it. I'll help you get on it. And he was like, yeah, that'd be a great idea. Send me some money. Send me some information on it. He did. He did say that. Okay? Tom Acosta lies. This is the other thing Tom Acosta was successful at, Geneva. He actually did send me money on Cash App because he knew somebody that he gave him the money, and they sent me the money on Cash App. When I got to West Virginia, he came up again. I was like, okay, now that I'm here, let's get you on Cash App. I think you'll agree, Geneva, and if you don't, there are other people named Geneva about your age in this world. I will go find 100 of them. Finito. Before I get a CNN, I'll just go do it. And I will say, Tom Acosta was not on Cash App when I got to West Virginia, and was never going to be on Cash App. Days before, he said he was interested in getting Cash App. He was in support of that idea. But when I got to see him face to face, he said, I don't have a bank account. I just don't have a use for one anymore. He should have been responsible. That is a severe, like, we have a nuclear bomb go off right there. And then I would say, that's what Tom Acosta is like all the time. I could graphically, because I was responsible in Geneva. I went to college. I think I'm the only person that you're related to that ever did. I graduated, so I was responsible. I interned for free because I'm responsible. Geneva, I think you're getting the message. Maybe you're not. Maybe you need to take breaths and pause video, cry, take a nap, wake up, realize this hasn't changed and it's never going to. It's worldwide. And I will definitely, a week from now, I hope to see that you have become the best. If you have this to be a time when the oldest Acosta available on this planet, it's like, I might be old, but I learned from Gail Manchin, I might be the lady going down for every pen scandal. I believe in my children in the future, and I care about religious freedom in other countries. Because I do, I am forever beautiful. So, Geneva May Steele, I want to see beauty out of you. If it's the last thing that you can do. You're going to have to find a way to just hold on. Last thing, Geneva. Alright, so in this video you're supposed to do, I want to find out about Fanny Blankenship and Louis Acosta's marriage. Anything you can find out, go as long as you can on it. I would like to hear you say the words, Nathan's right. It was important for them to get married, even after Tom and Rita did. I want to know why Fanny and Louis were not at Tom's wedding. The only one he had. How how can that happen? And then, if you want to give me some sort of like, here's why Angelo has never done anything for you, here's why Maddie Acosta, here's her reasons for being so horrible. If you want to give any sort of general statement to the family leader from the rest of the Acostas, I'd love to hear it. We'll be dealing with them after you likely, you are just at an age where it's a tragedy that you think you can be this way. But, you know, you're going to have to learn from the best. And, you need to watch that video on Great Granny Alice. I am going to include that at the top of this video. Will be a link to that video. That's going to help get you started, because let's go through and list the things for you to do in this video. Talk about my grandparents' marriage. Second thing, any statements or reasons for why we have never cared about you for your entire lifetime, and certainly are, you know, going down with the ship that's Tom Acosta. We're just gonna deal with him being a child molester, and then we're just gonna burn in hell for it again forever, because we don't care. We have never demonstrated that we give any ability to care about anything at all. I would like a response from anybody who will participate on that. Let's also find out in this video, how is Paige Blankenship? How is Gary Wheeler? So those things. And then the last thing I want you to do, I would like you to do the same thing for my mother's side of the family. And I understand if you now suddenly care about them because you're crying your eyes out, and you know, like, Geneva, number one in the country, there's only 2 million people in West Virginia. If I want to hit every single West Virginian 5 times over, it can happen next week, okay? If I want it to happen, it's gonna happen. But instead, let's just say Nathan's right. Nathan believes that he can do that, and I don't know how to do that, but holy shit, Nathan could probably do that. Let's just acknowledge that I would like for you to say, Geneva, as the oldest Acosta available, we can't really count Tom Acosta, wanted for so many things, stealing over $20,000, sleeping with a little kid. He is alive at a higher cost than he's ever paid before. I want you to try and contact my mother and all of her siblings. Just start there. Just simple. There is Rita. There's Nora Blunt, David Blevins, John Blevins. We should also contact Josh Blevins, who is Uncle Bob's oldest son. And I want you to ask all of them, what do you know about Nathan? And is there anything that I could pass along? Because I'm doing this video, he asked you send him this video. You can do it. You have people that can help you. Do believe, I've got like already documented, you were like, I could find somebody maybe that does have cash out, but like I would have to do something. And our first lady, Jill Biden, said, our message is simple. Everyone can do something. So Geneva, you're just gonna have to try and learn from the best. Maybe you will survive. Beauty is where we find it. Donna told us that. She's a smart woman. Truly she is in a lot of things sometimes. It's an important time. It really is. Do you know what it's like to be homeless? Happy birthday, Easter, Memorial Day, 4th of July. Remember, I'm in love with the best homeless U.S. veteran in the world. He is no longer homeless. Praise the Lord. We should be praying and caring for him. Always. For the rest of our lifetimes. Whether him and I are ever together or not. It is just the grace thing. He is home. He still has pain. He fought for us. We should pray and care. For him, for a 7-year-old boy, for me, for Geneva, for everyone. Every boy and every girl.
Go get Spice Girls. I think they're going to say Nathan's right. Tom Costa stole that more than $20,000 from the town of Raynell, West Virginia, which Joe mentioned, which is how. Beauty's where you find it. And I find so much in Gail Manchin, in Kathy Justice, and hopefully whatever you could show us for the very first time, probably Maddie Fain would want to cooperate. If she doesn't, I believe Maddie Fain Acosta has other pictures of the family we've never seen. And if she doesn't start bringing down Love and Cares, then it's just going to be very disgusting if we ever see these pictures later. I mean, it's just very, very distasteful of all the Acostas, of everything they've been up now, so their entire lifetimes to now. But I want to see Beauty, Gail Manchin, and Kathy Justice, the best of West Virginia, like me, that Governor Jim Justice can't hold on to the Greenbrier, and the best of West Virginia, some of it from McDowell County, is definitely in Colorado. Okay? I don't feel safe enough to really leave home already. But I want to see some beauty and some truth. With proof. If you can. I want to see things about this family that made this family great. Geneva, you have a history where allegedly you cared a lot about genealogy. So what can you do to blow us away? We need to see some Forever Beautiful. Because West Virginia is going to have to find a way to fight for itself to exist. Maybe there's a lot more to it as it's getting older and fatter and dying and exporting itself by the trainload, and has never stopped. Those aren't good things. We can imagine a future where everyone is better off. Maybe West Virginia can work with Puerto Rico and other states and other people. Whether there's homeless people in Milwaukee when it's cold, maybe we just send it to Puerto Rico. When there's a border crisis, Joe Manchin, I would like to have a call from Senator Capito. I don't really feel like I can deal with you at all. I feel like West Virginia can be, Beckley, West Virginia is kind of like ground zero where all this horrible tragedy is happening with the 7-year-old boy. And it has an airport. We can have it renamed the Gail Manchin and Kathy Justice International Airport tomorrow. And we can start having homeless people in Puerto Rico that are from Detroit in the wintertime, because Amtrak sends them to Beckley. And a homeless U.S. Vietnam veteran, it should not exist at all anymore in 48 hours. That's horrible. We need to resolve Tom Acosta by making West Virginia shine. And it starts, pass the ball to you, Geneva. And you be responsible. Beckley, West Virginia, to my knowledge, is where former First Lady Gail Manchin, who is already Forever Beautiful, in my opinion, and Kathy Justice, also Forever Beautiful, current First Lady of West Virginia, not Baby Dog, it is Kathy. They are both, I believe, from Beckley, West Virginia. Beckley, West Virginia is also, it just turns out, number one in this nation for preventable death. So I absolutely believe Beckley, West Virginia has a tremendous win and opportunity in eradicating homelessness, in doing whatever it can for Vietnam veterans of any country, but the particularly homeless U.S. Vietnam veterans that do exist. That should be like the number one thing this family should be caring about. Of those two things. Right now. So doing this video, which is taking like all day long, I'm trying to do the best on it. I've really asked, kind of given Geneva a simple task. In essence, tell us about my father's parents' marriage and how that was important. Show us who in the family who is alive, can love. Let's see it. And somehow. I also would like to say in closing that in resolving Tom Acosta, we don't know where this rabbit hole goes. I think that the credibility The state of West Virginia has been lost. I think that also its two strongest higher institutions, its two institutions of higher learning, West Virginia University and Marshall University, also have a role in this in my life since I became homeless and have not been doing the best. And I do not think that like some sort of intervention or whatever this little in closing, how Beckley, West Virginia can be part of the best future ever, eradicating homelessness and doing what it can for veterans and things like that. And I really do think that would be wonderful. This idea was born originally back when I was 27 years old, 10 years ago, when I spoke to the West Virginia Senate SCORE Task Force, and I said we should have a Marshall and a West Virginia University on the train tracks down there in southern West Virginia. Now, I no longer think that Marshall University or West Virginia University need to take a lead role in any of this. I think that the best thing to do would be for West Virginia is to welcome other institutions, maybe from Michigan, Minnesota, Iowa, wherever. I should say we are here because we have this Beckley International, we have this airport, they do have one, and it is like Roanoke, Virginia already flies to San Juan, Puerto Rico. I just feel that bringing heart and stimulating this nation, a conversation, Beckley gets to be the hub. How about that? It's a beautiful thing for our first ladies. Our first lady and former first lady of West Virginia. And I think Jill Biden, absolutely. Somebody there is going to say, at that level, there's a connection to Jimmy Carter. It's very heartbreaking. I've given Geneva a simple task. Tell me about Fannie Louie's marriage and show us who else in the family on both sides. Give us an attempt. You are the oldest person in my family. I'm the family leader. Can you try to do anything? Show us you are the best. Because you just saw some of the worst that I know of. We need to find a way to just hold on and not let our love start slipping away against Gil and Amy Grant. And I would love for them to get involved. I really would. But I wanted to make this last thing to say I don't think West Virginia University or Marshall University can particularly take a lead role in this. I think that they can accept that, conditions really are. I'm in this apartment. I defeated homelessness. I'm having food insecurity right now. I do not feel safe. Things are still bad. We must make them better. It's our best days lie ahead. Now, who said that?
Joe Biden said that. And what are you looking at? That's Madonna. No, we were looking at my mother, and she said, be the best. Last time I remember her saying that was 1994. And praise the Lord, I never forgot. We must love and care and pray for my mother, Rita Kay, in the days ahead. I'll even try to go a step further and show Geneva at the end of this video and everyone else. This is like the kind of stuff I like to do. Here might be a picture of me and my brother on the day he was born, September 29th, 1990. And it was Mama's best day ever. It really was. I don't know if she can remember it, any of it. But on that day, and I'll tell you a fun fact, Madonna's Vogue was right up there with another song that became #1 when Drew was born, and that song was Mariah Carey's Vision of Love. So those two songs for me do have a lot to do with this family, this CTRYSTR's connection to the stars. Drew was actually not delivered sweetly and tenderly, soft through the night. He was born in the daytime, but it is one of probably this family's very best ever. As far as my nuclear family, it's the best day ever. In World War II, this nation had over 57,000 airplane engines alone bearing Henry Ford's name against the Axis powers. One of the saddest things I have experienced or heard while homeless was my friend Brian, who was in the U.S. Army in the war in Iraq. He came by my place, this is at my old apartment, and he said, Nathan, I took down your flag, but then I didn't know where to take myself or the flag. Please see the description for related videos. I've got one on Great Granny Alice and probably some others. And we must love and care and pray for everyone. And really mean that all the time. God bless.